Hey, Caitlin here. Welcome back to Katie Red Crafting Company. So today we're going to be working on a welcome sign, one of the ones that you see people put in their front doorways, really cute, but ours is not going to be as weather resistant as the other ones that you normally see outside, because this one's going to be for my mom's classroom. So it's going to be indoors and doesn't need to really be sealed or extra treated. So what we're going to be using today is we're going to be using our board. It's already been prepped and painted and is ready to go, ready for vinyl to be put on it. We're going to be using the TeckWrap Apricot. So if we peel that back, y'all can see that. This is gonna work awesome with that blue. It's gonna be really, really nice. We are also going to be using our squeegee scraper tool. Love these. Our pin. And I don't use tweezers a whole lot, but if you are a tweezer junkie, like I know some of y'all are, they have a really, really nice pair of tweezers. It's got a super sharp tip on the end, and it's really awesome. I'm old-fashioned. I like to use my fingers. I'm not sure why, I just like to touch everything. So if you like tweezers, they have a really good pair on their website, TeckWrapCraft. All right, so next thing we do, we just need to set up our Cricut, get our vinyl on our cutting mat, and start cutting so we can get this project going. Let's go. All right, so we've already got our first one cut out. Now it wrinkled up because I was peeling it off the mat, but as we go for our second one, don't forget when you're putting these down that there is a protective layer that we have to get off the top of this. I can snag that. There we go. And I just love this about TeckWrap, because like I've said, it's a nice way to protect your vinyl and keep it really nice. So let's go ahead and put this on our cutting mat, and then we can get it started. You want to make sure it's really adhered to the cutting mat. That way it cuts evenly. There's no bubbles, so it won't have a warped cut or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and put it in our Cricut and get it ready to go. And then while that one's cutting, we can go ahead and weed this one. So what I usually do when I'm cutting out letters is I will put them all in their own little box. That way I know they're not overlapping each other or accidentally going to cut out a place on the mat that they shouldn't. So this comes off just so easily too. Love that. Okay. Now if it sticks a little bit like that one just did, go ahead and check your blade on your cutting machine, because it's possible that it may have had something in there. Because I know mine's a bit of an old blade, so sometimes it'll not cut through all the way. And then we just had our second matte finish. So we'll finish weeding all these And then we will get to putting them on our board. Okay, now that we've got all these done, and we'll press that right out when we get it onto our board. So what we have to do now is we are going to go ahead and get our transfer tape. Keep these. Keep these, keep these, keep these. So if you're like me and you ever forget like what color it is, I mean, obviously transfer tape, you're not gonna forget what color it is, but if you have this, they come with a little sticker on it that usually says the color. So what I like to do is I'll read the color and then I'll either try to rip that tag off so I can have the color in there, or if I'm not so lucky, because this is a rarity that I can get that tag off without it ripping. So if I'm unable to get it off, I just go ahead and read the color and then go ahead and write it in there. So this one's Brilliant Purple, so that way I always know what color I'm using. That way if I run out, I can just go online and say, oh hey, yeah, I wrote it in there. So something to think about when you take that tag off. All right, so let's look at this. So I can see my letters through here. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but if I hold it up to the light, y'all can see it. Y'all can see the letters through here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at that outline and count, because these boxes are slightly smaller than, these ones are slightly smaller than these. So I'll count an extra one on this one. That way I make sure I have enough for each letter. Okay, so we start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll go ahead and say 10 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10 by 10. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 10. And we're just going to cut it all the way across. I know there are some people that don't like to use the grid lines, but I find it helps me not waste as much vinyl or transfer tape. Helps me not waste as much when I actually count it. Okay, so we know we've got 10 up. Let's count 10 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Okay, and we'll cut right here. And we can get our first of the letters going. It should fit just about right. It's got these 2 little pieces that are out, but that is okay. It's gonna come up with this and it'll lay down nicely anyway. So let's go ahead and remove this. I like to start laying it down in the center and go out. That way I know I'm kind of knocking out the chances that I get a whole bunch of bubbles in there. But if you do get bubbles in your transfer tape, that's okay, because the transfer tape is not what's going to stay on the board. It's your actual vinyl that's underneath it. That's what we're worried about getting bubbles. Okay, so now that we've burnished this on there, get this guy off. Oh, it comes off oh so easy. We love that. Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and measure about 2 inches down. Okay. One more time. All right. So what's that look like? We've got about it in the middle. Go ahead and lay that down. Looks good to me. Okay. Once it looks good, go ahead, burnish it or squeegee it on. Again, make sure it's on there really, really good. And then we can come back, pull this up. Now remember, we're going to be reusing this transfer tape to do the other letters. So make sure you're not rolling it up, crumpling it, unless you just really like using brand new transfer tape every time. Then you know, you do you. Okay, so we've got our first of the letters on there. We're gonna get the rest done, and yep, here we go. Okay, and there we have it. Got our welcome sign. Welcome. Awesome. It looks just, oh, looks so good. That tech wrap is so nice and smooth on there. It looks really nice. It adheres really well too. So after if you put them on there and burnished them on and pulled off the transfer tape, sometimes the transfer tape is so strong that it pulls it a little bit off again. So I like to go in and make sure that everything is on there really well adhered. So I'm just gonna go through real quick over each letter, make sure we're on there really nice. Okay. Now all that's left to do is just put a nice bow on it and display it in front of the classroom. Thank y'all so much for joining me today and working on this welcome sign project. I think it turned out really well, and I think my mom and her 5th graders are going to be so excited. So these colors are just amazing, and TeckWrap has so many awesome pastel colors and bright colors and holographic colors. There's just so much that you can do, and TeckWrap is just the way to go. So if y'all want a fun, bright, colorful project that's really easy to work with, TeckWrapCraft vinyl is an awesome, awesome resource. Definitely use them. So until our next video, y'all, happy crafting.